Welcome to another deep dive. We're going to be talking about AI and search.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on these articles.
Yeah, this is a really hot topic right now.
Let's see what we can uncover.
We've got a lot of really good stuff here. We have an analysis from Search Engine Journal, some insights from Google AI's own blog, Microsoft's perspective from the Bing blog. We have SEO research from Seer Interactive and Content Marketing Institute, and even a French article that digs into some strategies for this new era.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to
It
see the global perspective.
a lot to unpack, but one question really stands out from all of these sources. Is AI an alternative to Google or something much better? That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But these articles, they point to some pretty dramatic shifts that are already underway.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one thing that struck me was this rise of AI-powered answers, tools like ChatGPT and Gemini. These tools don't just give you a list of websites. They actually try to answer your question directly.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a huge change.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And it's being driven by, I think, a very human need, which is instant gratification. People want information quickly, and this promises to do that.
Absolutely. But is there a trade-off there?
Well,
How do we know that these answers are accurate? Are we sacrificing quality for speed?
that's a great question.
The Search Engine Journal analysis actually found that people are starting to expect these quick answers, whether they're right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really important point, and I think it really underscores why we need to make sure we understand how these AI systems work
Yeah,
and what their limitations are.
absolutely. So how are the big players responding to this shift?
Well,
We've got Google with Gemini and this Project Astra thing, and then Microsoft going all in on Bing's Copilot. It feels like a digital arms race.
it really does. It's a battle for who is going to control the information in this new AI-powered world. And it's not just Google and Microsoft either.
Right.
Every search engine, every tech company is scrambling to figure out how to integrate this.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of.
It is.
But what does it mean for those of us trying to actually get our websites found, in this new world? Seer Interactive and Content Marketing Institute both have some pretty strong opinions on how SEO is changing.
Yeah, they do. It seems like the old playbook is being thrown out the window.
Yeah.
All that keyword stuffing that we used to do,
Right.
practically useless. Now AI demands a different approach.
Okay, so
I don't know.
give me some examples. How is AI impacting SEO?
I think first and foremost, it's all about what they call semantic optimization.
Okay.
AI is actually getting much better at understanding the meaning behind searches and not just the keywords themselves.
Okay.
So instead of, trying to cram in as many keywords as you can,
Right.
you really have to focus on building what they're calling topical authority.
Topical authority. Okay, so what does that actually mean for someone creating content?
Yeah, so let's say you're writing about electric cars.
Okay.
You can't just have like a little paragraph about it. You need to create a comprehensive resource that covers all aspects of that topic.
Got it.
Battery technology, charging, infrastructure, environmental impact, you name it. You want to show that that you are the go-to source for information on that topic.
Interesting.
And it can't just be superficial content. AI can detect plagiarism and unoriginality better than ever before.
So quality over quantity. I like that.
That's right.
But how does AI actually read and understand all of this content? Does the structure of the website matter?
Structure is more important than ever. AI thrives on well-organized information.
Okay.
Think clear headings, subheadings, bullet points, concise paragraphs. Basically, you want to make it very easy for that AI to extract the key points from your content.
So we're like teaching AI how to read our websites.
In a way, yes. The more structured your content is, the better the AI will be able to understand it.
Okay.
And the more likely it will be to recommend it to users. And this brings up another important point, which is AI is using real-time information.
Oh, wow.
So your content can't just be well-organized.
Okay.
It also needs to be up-to-date.
So we can't just write a blog post and forget about it.
Exactly.
We have to be constantly
That's right.
updating and refining.
Staying relevant in the age of AI means constantly adapting to the ever-changing landscape of information.
Yeah, and it's changing quickly.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like a river. It's constantly flowing and changing.
Yeah, so if we need to be constantly adapting, what can we actually do? How do we stay ahead of the curve? I know you mentioned a French article that had some practical advice.
Yeah, one of the things they talked about was really just monitoring and analysis, being aware of how things are shifting.
So constantly checking our data,
Yeah.
seeing what's working, what's not.
Are you getting as much traffic? Are people finding your website through these new AI-powered search results? You know?
Yeah.
It's really about understanding how those things are changing so you can adjust your strategy.
It sounds like you need to be pretty tech savvy to keep up with all this.
Well, and that's a good point. I think that this article actually even talked about the benefit of collaborating with, maybe some experts, people who really understand AI and SEO, because they're becoming more and more intertwined.
So find someone who speaks both languages.
Exactly. They can kind of help you translate and navigate this new world.
All right, so we've covered the basics of how AI is impacting SEO, but let's zoom out a bit. What about the bigger picture? What other trends are emerging in this space?
Well, I think one thing that's really interesting is just the intensification of competition. You would think that this would open up a lot more opportunities, but some of the data suggests that it might actually be creating kind of a winner-takes-all dynamic.
Really? Why is that?
Well, because these AI systems, they learn from the data that's already out there.
Right.
Which is already biased towards, the brands and websites that are already ranking high.
So the rich get richer.
Kind of. Yeah, it definitely makes it challenging for newcomers or for, smaller players to try to compete in that space. So having a really good SEO strategy is even more important now.
Okay, so we need to be data-driven, adaptable, maybe even get some expert help.
Yeah.
But what about the search experience itself? Is AI going to change how we actually search for things?
Oh, absolutely. I think we're moving towards a much more conversational way of interacting with search. You've probably noticed it yourself. People are using voice search more. They're asking questions in natural language.
Yeah, I mean, I use voice search all the time. It's just so much easier than typing.
Exactly. And that's just the beginning, I think. They talk about multimodal search, where you can search for something, and instead of just getting a list of links, you might get a video demonstration. You might get, audio instructions.
So it's almost like the internet is coming to life.
Exactly. It's like adding all these new dimensions to the online experience.
That is incredibly exciting.
It is. It is. But, of course, with any new technology, there are some challenges and considerations that we need to keep in mind.
Right. Like what?
Well, I think one of the things that often gets overlooked is the ethical dimension of AI.
Right.
It's all fun and games until the robots take over.
Right, exactly. Although I don't know if it's going to be quite that dramatic, but there are some more immediate concerns like bias.
Okay.
These systems are trained on data, and that data often reflects existing biases in our society.
Right. So if it's predominantly male data, it might be biased against women or...
Exactly. So it's really important that we develop these systems in a way that's fair and unbiased and accountable.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it.
That's right. And I think that brings up another important point, which is the role of education and awareness.
So making sure people understand how AI works and...
Exactly. We need to kind of demystify AI, make it accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So that we can all be informed and engaged citizens in this increasingly AI-driven world. I like that, giving people the tools to understand and navigate the changing landscape.
So we've talked about, the technical aspects of AI and search the competitive landscape, ethical considerations, need for education. Is there anything else we should be thinking about?
Well, I think it's important to remember that this is not just a technological revolution, it's a societal one.
Yeah.
It's changing the way we live, the way we work, the way we interact with each other. And I think it's up to all of us to make sure that it's a positive transformation.
AI is about people.
Exactly.
And that brings us to the next part of our deep dive, where we'll be exploring some specific examples of how AI is already being used in different industries.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about how AI could, reshape entire industries.
It is.
We were just talking about how it could change, how we interact with search engines. But what about, fields like healthcare or finance? I mean, there's some pretty mind-blowing stuff in these articles.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the applications are really just starting to scratch the surface, like in healthcare, for example.
Yeah.
The Google AI blog highlighted how AI is being used to analyze medical images.
Oh, wow.
With incredible accuracy.
So computers reading X-rays and MRIs.
Exactly. Yeah, they can actually detect these subtle patterns that might be missed by the human eye.
Wow.
Which can lead to earlier and more accurate diagnoses.
That's incredible. I mean, early detection is so crucial for so many diseases.
Absolutely.
Are there other ways that AI is being used in healthcare?
Oh, yeah. Tons. I mean, it's being used to personalize treatment plans, to develop new drugs, and even to streamline clinical trials.
It's like science fiction becoming reality.
It is. It's pretty remarkable.
What about other fields? Does any of this research touch on how AI is being used in finance?
Yeah, the Bean blog had a really interesting piece about how AI is transforming the financial industry.
Okay.
It can be used to detect fraud, manage risk, and even provide personalized financial advice.
So it's like having, an army of superpowered accountants keeping an eye on everything.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, think about all those transactions happening every day.
Yeah.
AI can analyze all that data in real time to identify suspicious activity that humans might miss.
So it's helping financial institutions make better decisions about lending, investments, all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
What about like everyday people? How is AI impacting, our personal finances?
Well, I mean, think about those chatbots that you encounter on banking websites now.
Yeah.
A lot of those are powered by AI. They can answer basic questions, provide account information, and even offer some basic financial advice based on your spending habits.
So it's like having a personal financial advisor available 24/7.
Exactly. And as AI gets more sophisticated, we can expect even more personalized and proactive financial services.
It's fascinating to see how AI is like touching so many different aspects of our lives.
It is.
We've talked about healthcare and finance, but what about education? Is AI making a difference in, how we learn and teach?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the Siri Interactive research highlighted some really interesting applications in education.
Okay.
One area that's particularly exciting is personalized learning. AI algorithms can analyze student data to understand their strengths and weaknesses, and then tailor lessons and assignments to their specific needs.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, every student gets a customized education.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Wow.
AI can help create a more engaging and effective learning experience for every student, no matter their learning style or their pace.
It's like having a personal tutor for every student.
Exactly. Yeah, and it can even provide real-time feedback to help students identify areas where they need to improve.
Wow.
It can create these intelligent tutoring systems that adapt to the student's progress.
So the AI isn't replacing teachers, it's making teachers better.
That's right. Yeah, it's about empowering teachers with these tools to be more effective.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From how AI is changing search engines to its applications in healthcare, finance, education. I mean, it's clear that this technology is having a profound impact on our world.
It really is. And this is just the beginning. I mean, the pace of innovation is incredible.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
It is. But one thing is for sure, AI is here to stay.
Yeah.
And the more we understand about it, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new landscape.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this episode, what's the one key takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they kind of go out into the world today?
I would say the most important thing is to stay curious. Keep learning about AI, explore its possibilities, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
And experiment.
Yeah, try out some of those new AI-powered tools and see how they can benefit your life and your work.
Exactly. This is a technology that has the potential to transform our world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to all of us to make sure that it's a positive transformation.
Well said.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has. And to our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay engaged in this incredible journey.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.